Can we talk about your experience with trauma?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just break that
Absolutely.
down.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I have, boy, it started early, like really early. It's part of what I talk about in the book, but it was weird. I always knew that if I would ever talk about my life, this is how it would open. Like this moment was etched in my brain early on, well before a memoir came about. I was 6 years old, and my parents kind of I walked into their bedroom. And they're like, "Hey, Frankie, you're not going to school today." I'm like, "What?" I love school. I was one of those nerds. I loved going to school. I wasn't sick. It wasn't summer vacation. I was really confused by what the hell they were talking about.
Mhm.
6 years old, we get in the car, drive out of our little suburb in Chicago into downtown, all the big buildings. I remember looking at all these big, huge buildings. What's going on? Where are we going? They pull up to this hospital. I'm like, holy crap, I must be really sick. And at the time, I had a day of psych testing. And then after the test, I wasn't having lab tests. I was drawing pictures and looking at ink blots. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I
Mhm.
suppressed a lot of it, to tell you the truth. But after that day of not going to school, I spent 6 years weekly in therapy. I went to a special meeting that was a big secret. Our family wasn't allowed to tell anybody. And it was in that it's weird, Alex. I have two memories of 6 years of weekly therapy, which is crazy because I suppressed so much.
Yeah.
But I remember was, you have to play with these toys, Frankie, not these toys. This is the way you're supposed to act. This is how you're
Trying
supposed
to
to be.
condition you. Yeah.
I was totally conditioning. It was
Yeah.
actually a form of conversion therapy, honestly, is what it was. My mom will say that now. Like, it wasn't what she was intending at the time, but I got caught in my cousin's basement playing with the Barbie doll one time. And this was a big, huge red flag for my family. Back then in the day, it was a mental disorder to be gay. So they found me playing with the Barbie doll. They sent me into therapy for 5 years to act like a normal boy. you
Mhm.
know I remember like watching my uncles, like, oh, act like that, be like that, do what they do. Like, I'd lived my most of my childhood like suppressing who I was and learning how to be what other people wanted me to
We're telling
be.
you to do and be, yeah.
Totally. In the midst of all that, my dad was pretty verbally and physically abusive of me, which I didn't understand at the time. Like, why the hell is he beating the hell out of me? Like, I didn't get it. So I had a lot of trauma and
Yeah.
confusion. Like, I was wrong. End of story. That was the message.